Every year on September 12th, just after sunrise, something incredible happens in a small village tucked away in the wilderness of Botswana, Africa. A lone elephant slowly walks out of the forest and enters the village. He doesn't come for food. He doesn't attack. He walks with purpose, calm, silent, and heavy with emotion. He makes his way to a specific tree at the edge of the village and stands there, sometimes for minutes, sometimes for hours, not moving. The villagers don't stop him. They don't scare him off, because they know why he comes. And once you know too, it might break your heart. This story takes place in Motopi, a quiet village surrounded by dry savannas and acacia trees. Life here is simple. People farm, raise goats, and live close to the land. But for the past 6 years, every September 12th, something sacred happens. Jabu, a wild elephant known to the villagers, returns. He's not like the others. He doesn't travel with a herd. He doesn't trample crops. In fact, many of the villagers call him the mourner. He arrives at dawn, walks to an old baobab tree near the well, stands in silence, and then, by sunset, he disappears back into the wild. But why this date? Why this place? To understand Jabu's strange behavior, you have to go back 7 years to a day that changed both a man's and an elephant's life forever. The story begins with a man named Kabelo, a local conservationist who spent his life protecting elephants in Botswana. Kabelo wasn't wealthy. He didn't have a degree, but he understood elephants like no one else. He would often wander deep into the bush alone just to observe and record their behavior. One evening, in early September of 2018, Kabelo heard gunshots near the river. Poachers. He rushed toward the sound, no weapons, just courage, and found a horrific scene. A young elephant had been shot. Its mother was dead beside it. The young elephant was badly injured, but alive. That elephant was Jabu. Kabelo stayed with him. For days he brought water, fruit, and herbs to help Jabu recover. He even sang to him. They formed a bond, one that can't be explained in human words. The village said it was madness. Some said Kabelo was risking his life, but he didn't care. Eventually, a local rescue team helped Jabu recover fully. He was released back into the wild. Kabelo didn't expect to see him again. But just a few days later, on September 12, 2018, Jabu returned, not to the forest, but to the village. He found Kabelo and stood outside his hut for over an hour, silently watching him. Then he left. It was a moment that shook the village. No one had ever seen anything like it. The next year, September 12, 2019, Jabu came again. This time, something was different. He didn't come to the hut. Instead, he walked straight to the baobab tree at the edge of the village. That morning, the villagers woke to the news. Kabelo had passed away in his sleep just hours before Jabu arrived. The entire village was in mourning, but somehow, so was the elephant. Jabu stood under that tree, the same one where Kabelo used to rest during his long walks. And he didn't move. Not for 1 hour, not for 2. He stood there for nearly the entire day. Some say he wept, some say he hummed, a low rumble elephants use to communicate. But no one could deny what they saw. Jabu had come to say goodbye. Since then, every September 12th, Jabu returns to that exact spot. He doesn't come for food. He doesn't look for other elephants. He doesn't destroy anything. He just stands there, honoring the memory of the man who once saved his life. People travel from neighboring villages just to witness it. Children are taught his story in school, and every year, as the sun sets, the village gathers silently near the tree, watching the silent giant pay tribute and disappear once more into the wild. Some scientists say elephants have an incredible memory, that they mourn their dead, that they remember kindness, that they form bonds deeper than we ever imagined. Jabu's behavior may be rare, but it's not impossible. In fact, in many parts of Africa, people have told stories of elephants returning to the bones of their loved ones, or visiting the places where they once felt safe. But this, an elephant visiting a man's favorite tree every year on the exact date of his death. It's something else entirely. For the people of Matopi, this isn't just animal behavior. It's love. It's memory. It's gratitude in its purest, most powerful form. Jabu may be wild. He may not speak our language, but his actions speak louder than any words ever could. In a world that often feels cold, where people forget kindness quickly, this story reminds us that true loyalty never fades. Whether it's a man or an elephant, a heart that has known love will always remember where it came from. So the next time you see an animal, remember, they feel more than we think, and sometimes they remember more than we do.